Welcome to MSD's Partner in Reproduction Series. My name's Catherine Heffernan, and today I'm here in County Limerick with Brendan Ryan, and in this video we are going to discuss technology to optimise fertility performance. So Brendan, if you'd like to tell us a little bit about what you're doing here on this farm.
Yeah, so I'm farming here in partnership with my parents here in Ula, County Limerick. Recently returned home full-time farming 2 years ago. We're on our third year, starting the third year on a leased farm over the road. We're milking on two milking blocks, one owned, one leased. We have 250 cows calved this spring, where we calve all the cows at home and we just milk on the other farm.
How has the calving gone so far for you this year?
Our calving start date was 31st of January. We obviously started, there was calves coming from the 20th of January on. We'd 42 out of 60 in calf to our sync programme, calved before their due start date on the 5th of February. We've a lot of early heifer calves, and obviously we've replaced a big number of Frisian bull calves due to a lot of beef used last year because we used a lot of sex semen.
You mentioned, Brendan, you used a lot of sex semen, so we'll come back to that maybe later on. But you are a good bit ahead this year on your calving rate.
Yeah.
What method of heat detection would you have used in the past?
So back the year before last, it was all tail paint. So between the 2 yards, and to be honest, it's quite labour intensive, and really when you get to the stage 3 weeks before breeding where you should be pre-breeding, it's not really done because it's such effort in it. And obviously in bad weather like this time of the year, the collars are giving us a lot of information with cows that are anestrus and that need to be scanned. So we're scanning cows a lot earlier, and also we're getting them back in the first 3 weeks of breeding.
Brendan, you mentioned that you're using tail paint in the past. What heat detection method are you using now?
So we're Sensub collars on the cows and an all-flex drafting gate. Last year was our first year using it for breeding season. Already we're on target for 10% more of a 6-week calving rate compared to the last calving season.
Okay, and would that have been the reason you installed the system, or what was the main reason that you installed the system?
Yeah, I'd heard a lot about it and checked up a lot on it, and we decided we'd go for it. Also for the labour efficiency on the farm as well. Obviously milking on two farms can be quite complicated when not kept simple. So at breeding season time here, anyone can milk the cows, bring in the cows in the evening time, set the gates, milk the cows, and the cows that are on heat or in the yard after milking. And the AI man just comes, AIs the cows, and the cows are locked in. It's such an easy system. We had 2 family weddings last year in May, and it's such stress-free at that time, knowing that all the cows were caught for AI and AI'd on time.
And you're running the 2 farms kind of side by side. How does that work for you then on your Sensub app in terms of the cows coming into heat?
Yeah, so we have 2 different groups. One says Rogers and one with default, so all the animals at home are default. And when we move over back and forth, we change the cows for meat farm. So there's a drafter here in the home yard, anything that's on heat in the home yard is drafted through, and over on the other farm I have them in a group and I just hand draft them out.
How has the drafting gate been so far?
Oh, it's an absolute gift. Like, for anyone that's milking here at home, there's nothing to do. I just have the app on my phone, or whoever else, there's a couple of people who have it on their phone. Anything that's on heat is just in the yard. And I do plan on installing one for the upcoming breeding season on the other farm.
How are you using Sensub now in terms of your pre-breeding preparation?
So when we're using the Sensub app, then if I see any estrus cows pop up, I'll get them scanned and washed out or whatever has to be done. And this really has pulled back a lot of the late calvers that have went further out on me in the last 2 or 3 years. And it's in turn after rising our 6-week calving rate this year 10%.
And you'll check that list then throughout the breeding season as they're not cycling for 30 days?
Yeah, like I'm checking them the whole time, so even if there's 1 or 2 of them there on it, I'm not waiting for a group of cows to get scanned or anything like that. They're used. And also when I was back without the collars, using tail paint, it just wasn't being done because it's too busy of a time of year. There's no work involved in this. It's just literally open up your app.
We discussed sex semen. I suppose, do you want to tell me a little bit about how it's working here in your farm?
Yeah, so back before we had the collars on the cows, we would have attempted a couple of times cows putting sex semen into cows, watching them in the evening and trying the iron in the morning, and vice versa. And we were a bit weary about it, like it wasn't really successful. So putting the collars on the cows and having the breeding window on the app gave us great confidence to go ahead and use a good lot of sex semen on cows this year. We replaced 50 Frisian bulls with beef stock this year due to using more sex semen with the collars, and that's given us the confidence to go full sex semen next year and no Frisian bulls in the yard.
How has Sense Hub helped you in terms of health so far this spring?
Yeah, so I use the health on the app an awful lot in the spring because especially I do a lot of grazing in tricky conditions. We've just over 30% of the farm grazed, and it has shown me a couple of times that I've maybe tightened the cows a bit much on grass, or had to reallocate them on silage at night time or grass during the day to increase their health rate. So far we've no LDA got this spring, which might have been a bit of an issue back in the past.
Thank you for watching. In our next video, Eleanor Brady will speak with Dennis Howard on selecting best cows for sex semen and synchronization.